that's an excellent question. I feel like back in the day, like when I got into the short-term rental industry, like every company used to claim that they're a SaaS company. I feel like everyone expects every single endpoint solution and vendor to be an AI company these days. Whereas in reality, back to your question, I feel like AI really empowers the human capital to provide more relevant information to guests. And AI is great at what we call tier 0 and tier 1 queries. How do I check in? Like, what's the Wi-Fi code? But at the end of the day, I still believe that even though the technology is there, or even though the technology is almost there, the change management side of things is very slow, and it's going to take a while for our industry to adapt to embracing AI and utilizing into their day-to-day operations. One area where I see AI should be leveraged is, especially, and we see this a lot with larger operators managing north of a few hundred or a few thousand keys or units. Data is fragmented, right? They may be using like an endpoint solution for their like housekeeping and maintenance ops. They may be, the operators may have their like property data living on their PMS. So data is fragmented and living in silos. AI and MCP service can really like bridge the gap so that the operators can look at their data holistically and take proactive action based on the aggregated data. Like, that's one area where I see AI is going to be super helpful for the STR space. Another area is what I call, and maybe it's not politically correct, but what I call the paper pusher type of work, like just doing recurring mundane tasks that don't necessarily add value but needs to be done. That's where AI can come in, whereas since we're in the hospitality space, if someone flew from New York, JFK, like to Heathrow on a red-eye flight, they're in London, they're having a hard time getting into their short-term rental or holiday. The last thing that they want to do is like chat with a chatbot, right? They want to talk to like a breathing human being who would get them into the unit so that they can prep for their day and go about their day. Initially, we focused on guest communications, but I realized that guest communication is only one aspect of the business. Like, there's the guest side of things, there's the property manager, the W2 personnel that work at the property management company, the housekeepers, the maintenance personnel, but also the other client, which is the homeowner, right? So I feel like orchestrating amongst all those stakeholders, rather than just focusing on the guest, is going to be what we would focus on in the upcoming months and upcoming calendar year. It could be either through like partnering up with some other providers like who specialize in certain aspects of the business, or building on our own.